Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and Happy New Year's to everybody. Appreciate all the support you guys gave, shared the videos, all that stuff. That's awesome. We're trying to grow this, you know, so we can get back to the racing community. So unfortunately, we were ready to go to the Hangover Scramble at Washougal. And they got canceled due to insurance problems. We were going to race the Stalker over there. We were ready to go. We studded the tires. We threw the horn on there just for fun. Unfortunately, it got canceled, like I said. But today, we are doing a tire swap. We're going to swap out these tires. We got some Alba rippers over there. I've heard great things about them, so thank you, Alba. We're going to change these beadlock rings. We're going to powder coat them black. Anyway, that's about it. We had this black bike ready to go also. We decided that we weren't going to take it. We didn't want to break it because if anybody knows, I race the black bike. Well, they're both black, I guess. Black and purple bike. This is the wife's bike. I race that bike a lot because I break mine a lot. I gotta stop being hard on stuff, I guess. Anyway, so we're gonna do this. I'll probably time lapse the video a little bit. But I would like to know, I've been doing this a long time. Well, came out of retirement 4 years ago, whatever it is. And the one thing I do miss is racing stories. Like us old guys, we probably got a million of them. But if anybody's got any good racing stories, man, leave them in the comments. I personally love it. I've probably, like a lot of people, I've been doing this my whole life. I mean, like, this is one things I did forever when I was a kid, and then when I turned into adult, and so I did this a long time. And that's one thing I do miss, going to the track and just talking to people. But I can give you a good one. In 1999, no, it was 2000, in March, I raced the last Pace Off-Road Series in the Kingdom on my 250R. And we had the cylinder mic'd, and so I rebuilt it before I went. But the bike kept dying. It kept failing plugs. So, well, I'll tell you what happened was they mic'd the piston wrong, and so the piston was too small for the cylinder. So it was fouling plugs. Anyway, I went to the races. At the starting gate, I had a plug wrench and a plug in my pants, in my baggy SMPs, which I still have in my closet. I keep wanting to bust them out, but Lori tells me no. But yeah, they have a side pocket. So I carried a plug wrench and a plug to the starting gate because it wouldn't idle. If I held it pretty well wide open, it would run, but when I let it down, it would foul the plug. And that's nerve-wracking when you're at one of those things. It's already nerve-wracking, but anyway, I just thought that was funny. But if you got any stories, man, drop them in the comments. I love to hear them. Anyway, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. We'll time lapse it, and thank you for watching. All right, so when you're doing your bead locks, as you can see, I pulled the bead lock off here, got it on the other side, gonna powder coat it. I usually will just take these to a tire shop and have them busted off before you pull the bead lock off. But I do have this thing, it's a goddamn nightmare. But I got these loose. So you'll want to pull your wheel off And then this ring that goes around here, obviously clean that, all that up. And then a lot of times I'll just replace the bolts, but they get really bad. Make sure you clean them really good. Anyways, we'll do that real quick. Get these other tires on here. And then do the powder coating thing. Okay, so here we are. We have just a conventional oven that we're going to powder coat these in. And so my suggestion is your first thing you want to do is make sure, I'm going to hang these from just your oven rack. Make sure you got your oven rack in, slides in the right way so you don't hang them upside down or whatever. Get that set up. And then for me, since I'm doing these rings, and yes, you can powder coat over top of powder coat. You can, otherwise you got to sandblast these, or what I do is you can heat these up and then use some paint remover, putting them on there while it's hot. Warning, that is very toxic. Probably shouldn't inhale those, but that works pretty good to take some of the powder off, but you can powder coat over top of powder coat. Anyway, so you want to hang these on here. Hold on one second. Okay, so you can see I got these hung on there. I want to make sure they're not going to hit the element on the bottom, and everything looks good there. They're not hitting the sides, even though that one's wobbling. So I'm going to close this for a minute and let them heat up a little bit. Now you don't have to do that, but I washed those so there's a little bit of water on there, so I want to cook the water off there. Obviously the powder is not going to stick to the water, so we're gonna let that do its thing. And if you're wondering, hey, what do I use for a powder coater? I have just a cheapo. It's from Harbor Freight. You know, all I do is little parts, and it works pretty good. And it depends a lot on your powder too. And so I go to these guys to get powder. Prismatic powders. They're actually out of Oregon, I believe, and it's like 2-day shipping. And if you have never powder coated, the powder's cheap, and they do got some cool colors like that purple. Really comes out good, but I normally just do little stuff. I've done like these set of hubs, this pipe guard, stuff like that. I did the sprocket, just little stuff like that. You can just cook it in the conventional oven. Now you don't want to cook your cookies in there afterwards. So if you can find, usually you can just find a cheap oven. I think I got that one from my brother. They were getting rid of it. Works, actually the oven works, the stovetop doesn't, so that's even better because all I need is for the oven. I did a bunch of stuff on my bike too. Same thing, sprocket, pipe guard, the hubs. I did the hubs red. And then I have built and most of my projects in my house, I got a powder coating oven, the skeleton of it. You can see that it is buried. That's a good way not to do projects. Just bury it in your garage and you'll never get to it. But we got that. I got to finish it. Maybe next lifetime. Just not sure if I'll do this lifetime. But I do also have this. I have a frame that I got because I would like to pull this apart, powder coat it. Obviously I got to do finish that before I can powder coat that, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, and so when you're getting ready to powder coat, if you've never powder coated before, it's a little different than painting. You'll have a lead coming off your powder coater that provides power, and you'll attach this to a lot of times you can attach this to the oven rack unless it's got too much powder from before on there. Otherwise, attach it to the part. You have to have air compressor to supply air to the gun. And then we got the pedal here, right here, to step on when you're powder cutting. That it energizes the part so the powder will stick to it. Note to self: the end of the powder coating gun, and if you're stepping on that paddle, don't touch the part because it will shock you. It's a fairly decent jolt. I usually do that to myself because I don't powder coat that often. Anyway, we'll get this going, shoot a video of the powder. You guys seen the parts before, see what they look like afterwards. All right, so back to your wheels. You want to make sure you lube up the ring on those so your wheels slide in. Clean up all the dirt and the pine needles off your wheel so that when you go to put air in there, it'll seal. And then if these have a direction on them, make sure the direction's the right way. And then you just pop it down there, you know, just like so. Then you mount your ring up, throw some air in that bad boy. Technically, you could repowder coat these too if you wanted to. You lube it up, it'll go on there fairly easy. Do this in the summertime and you set your tires out, they'll expand, which usually works a lot better. Okay, so now you're done with your powder coater. You want to put it away. Make sure you blow your powder coating gun out so it don't get gummed up anything in there. I leave mine in my garage, so moisture and everything. You just want to make sure you blow it out. Fix the camera. Pretty simple. You just want to make sure you blow out here where the powder is and the end cap. And then always blow out the container that goes on there so you don't mix powders. Fairly simple. And then I blow out the funnel that I put on there. running out mixing colors. I use that funnel when I put it into the container that goes on the powder coating gun. Besides that, you're done with the powder coating gun. We're still letting this cook. Got another 7 minutes or so on this. And then we should be good. All right, so we powder coat is cooled off. We got these powder coated satin black. Getting ready to put them on the wheels. Just make sure you clean up your bolts. And then I WD-40 them. And then just slowly torque them. Cross pattern, just like you would do with your lug nuts. And then put some air in them. And you're good to go. Any questions, hit me up. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until the next one, hope to see you at the track.